Let's get an update on the news now with reporter Angela Chong. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Sunyan.
You came in saying you love the MBTI
Yes, I was
personality
so
test.
excited.
So what did you say you are?
I'm ENFJ.
ENFJ, caring, enthusiastic, idealistic, organized, diplomatic, responsible, blah, blah, blah. Very good things. No wonder. Nice one. Yeah. You think it's pretty accurate?
Yes, I've been really into it. And actually my boss, CEO at my workplace, she's really into it. So we even had a workshop session with all the employees taking the legit test by this organization.
Right.
And we had a full day workshop just discussing about it and sitting by groups that have different traits. And we just kind of talked about how our styles are different, how our
Interesting.
personalities are different, how we can cooperate in certain situations.
Right. So do you think it helped with your teamwork? And the work
Definitely.
morale? Wow,
Yes.
very good. Okay, I've never heard of that. Interesting. All right, well, stay tuned. We're going to talk more about the MBTI later on as well. But let's get to our first news item, and it's about the weather. I mean, it's definitely seems like summer is bye-bye now. We have cool weather and winds. A lot of rain is forecast for this week as well. 가을 장마, right? The autumn monsoon.
Right. There was a lot of rain over the weekend even, and over 100 millimeter of rain was forecasted in many regions of the country, with around 5 millimeter of light rain in the greater Seoul area and western part of Gangwon and Chungcheong province. But on top of rain, this year's 12th typhoon, Omayas, was moving upwards from the southwest of Okinawa Island of Japan. With typhoon advisory already issued in Jeju Island, there was strong rain of 30 to 50 millimeter per hour in Jeju Island yesterday. And after passing Jeju in the afternoon today, Typhoon Omayas is expected to make a landfall in the southern coast of South Korea by tonight, is accompanied by, again, strong winds and lots of rain. And on top of this, a low pressure trough approaching from the western seas is forecasted to produce lots of rain nationwide until tomorrow, Tuesday. So you need to be well prepared against flooding or any landslides.
Right, especially with the torrential rains that we sometimes seem to be getting that come in like flash kind of moments. So what are we expecting today temperature-wise?
So today's daytime temperatures will be slightly higher than those of yesterday, with 29 degrees Celsius in Seoul and 31 degrees Celsius in Daegu.
All right. Moving on to our second item. With the rain, of course, it does kind of clean away or wash away all of the fine dust. But I understand we have a new type of fine dust made of plastic that we have to be on the watch out for.
Right. We've been having pretty clear skies, but we still have a little bit of fine dust. And a joint research team discovered plastic fine dust in the atmosphere in downtown Seoul for the first time in Korea. The team drew in air all day in 5 places in Seoul, including Seoul Station, Gangnam-gu, Shinsadong, and Daechidong, and they found plastic in the air collected in all 5 places. The average size of particles they found was 52 to 72 micrometers, and the research team found that there were between 9 and 29 particles per 1 cubic meter.
Okay, that sounds alarming. I mean, fine dust, it's enough that we have to deal with it, but plastic in the air that we're breathing in, where does this come from?
So the research team analyzed components and it showed there are synthetic fibers, fragments of plastic PET bottles, and tire powder in the particles. And they're hovering or floating on the road just like dust until they get into the atmosphere eventually. And what's more problematic is ultrafine plastic, which is very small in size, much of which comes from tires grinding on the road. So experts said 2 to 4% of fine dust samples collected from the roadside are fine dust particles from the tire wear. And what's more concerning is that if we breathe in the ultrafine plastic particles into our lungs, of course it could damage our lung tissues, and it's a proven fact. However, we need to more research to find out how harmful it could be, the amount of plastic we breathe in daily lives.
This is really awful news, actually. I mean, but considering the amount of plastic that we create and we throw away every day, I guess it's not a surprise that it's making its way back to us. I guess even with this, it's another reason to leave our cars behind for at least one day per week if we can. I will try to do that myself, of course.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to our third and last item. It's about food, my favorite topic, vegetables. Do you look like you like vegetables, right? You eat a lot of vegetables?
Yes, I try to eat it regularly, and it's just good to keep in shape.
Favorite vegetable?
Favorite, I would say cauliflowers these days.
Interesting.
Yes. I love-
Cauliflower. I have never heard anyone say that cauliflower is their favorite. Okay. Roasted?
Yes,
Yeah,
roasted, for
okay.
sure.
Very good.
Yeah,
Okay.
and even grind it these days to make it look like rice. So cauliflower rice. Yes.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. But there's a reason why you're bringing this up, right?
Yeah, so out of all the vegetables, there's one special vegetable that a lot of Koreans eat, and that's pretty unique for other foreigners. Because if you've ever tried Korean style pork belly or raw fish, Koreans tend to eat them with in a sam, right?
Right.
With a
Vegetable wrap.
with a
Lettuce wrap or gendip.
Yes, perla leaves. So, do you like perla leaves?
I love it.
You do?
I love gendip kimchi. I love gendip chon and insam as well. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, so did you know gendip is loved almost only by Korean people. So in Korea, we use gendip for a variety of dishes, pickled side dish, chon, which is the fried Korean pancake style, kimbap, fried dishes, and even in tteokbokki. So perla leaves are rich in nutrients, so they deserve greater popularity and recognition. And recently, perla leaves are gaining spotlight as a main export item.
Interesting. So what countries are actually importing these perilla leaves?
So out of many, Japan has started appreciating the value of gendip. So the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs announced in 2019 it will nurture perla leaves as a new main export item of South Korea along with paprika, strawberries, and grapes. And growing demands for perla leaves in Japan played a role in the government decision. So last May, perla leaves from Korea were registered as food for which its functions are labeled. And currently in Japan, people sell Korean-grown perla leaves with their functions labeled as it includes rosmarinic acid. So reports found rosmarinic acid reduces displeasure such as pollen and dust. So in South Korea, rosmarinic acid is not very well known, but it is in Japan because a large number of Japanese people suffer from pollen allergy. So this is one of the reasons the perla leaves are gaining a lot of expectations in Japan. And perla leaves are also known for their antioxidant effects.
Well, perilla leaves, of course, have been around for ages, and we've been eating it for ages. Is there any reason maybe why it's affecting the recent popularity, especially in Japan?
Yes, of course, the popularity of K-pop in Japan also played a part, and even in Korean popular TV shows and dramas, characters always seen eating perla leaves as a wrap with samgyeopsal. And Japanese people follow Korea's food culture. So in Japan, they have their own version of perla leaves, which is called shiso, but it's a little bit different in flavor and scent.
Right. It's not only Japan. I think U.S., Canada, Singapore, and Hong Kong are also being touted as possible export destinations as well. So another K food or K vegetable on the rise. Thank you very much for those news items. We've run out of time, so we'll have to leave it there, Angela. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you on Friday.
Thank you. See you.
Do you have questions about life in Korea? Send us your opinions and feedback anytime during the show.